Prime Minister Mark Carney was on defense for his newest MP, Marilyn Gladu, today, facing questions about welcoming a socially conservative MP into his caucus.
We have our values of solidarity, of inclusivity, of sustainability, of the rights of women, of all the rights in the Charter of Freedom. We have those core values. Those values don't change. Others come to support the mission of the party and the government at this crucial time.
Steven MacKinnon is the government House leader, and here's more on what Carney had to say.
You need a mix of expertise in government. You don't need a government of just lawyers. It's good to have some lawyers. You don't need a government of just people who've been politicians. You need government. It's good to have doctors in your government. It's good to have people who've been engineers. It's good to have people who've worked in non-governmental organizations, who've worked in philanthropies, been teachers, been nurses, others. You want to have that diversity of perspective. We're getting more of that diversity, not just geographically, but from experience, at a time that's crucial for the country. But what also everyone knows in that caucus room is the fundamental rights that this party has fought for and will always stand for.
And now we have Steven MacKinnon with us. He's the government House leader. Welcome to the show. Just so people understand, you're at the Liberal convention and here to answer our questions about some pretty big developments for your party. So today, the Prime Minister, your Prime Minister, said that the party's values are not changing just because you've welcomed a social conservative into your caucus. But she was one of your most vocal critics of Liberal policies over the past decade. She's been an MP, a Conservative MP, since 2015. So do you believe that Marilyn Gladu has changed her beliefs, or will she just have to suppress them in order to be part of your government?
Look, Karina, first of all, it's great to be here in Montreal. I mean, this is extraordinary. I've been to Liberal conventions since I was very, very young. This is the largest ever. That is not a leadership convention, of course. This is an incredibly exciting place to be. With respect to Ms. Gladu and any other member who chooses to join the Liberal caucus, the Liberal Party has a history since Confederation and values that it upholds, that it cherishes, that it holds dear. Those are values that one must obviously adhere to when one chooses to become a member of our party, and needless to say, a member of our caucus. And Ms. Gladu, I know, has looked at Prime Minister Carney, looked at our priorities for the country, looked at the functioning of our political party and of our parliamentary group, and decided that she wants to be part of it. I can assure you that Canadians who live in Conservative ridings or in opposition ridings across Canada are asking their members of Parliament, we want you to be part of solutions. We want you to be part of a positive vision for building Canada. That's what this convention is about. That's what Canadians will see on display this weekend. And that's what a number of voters in Conservative ridings are saying to their members of Parliament.
But is it enough for Ms. Gladu to vote along with those Liberal values if she doesn't actually hold those values herself?
Well, look, Ms. Gladu is a veteran member of Parliament, and she will, I'm sure in due course, explain that herself. But by the fact of her joining our team, she has indicated she adheres to Liberal values, the Liberal platform, the things that the Prime Minister was discussing today, where I was with him at the very exciting opening of the construction site on a major port project here in Canada. So we're very, very happy to have Marilyn in our group. We're very happy to be attracting Canadians from all walks of life and all regions who look at Mark Carney and look at the Liberal Party and see a positive vision for the country.
Now, in January, just a few months ago, Marilyn Gladu said that she was behind the idea that if someone was going to switch parties, there should be a by-election. Now, clearly, we have not had a by-election. She switched parties. How do Canadians take her at her word?
Well, look, Mr. Poilievre, he talks a lot about things like that.
But so did she.
The thing we have to go on is the fact, well, the only thing we have to go on is the fact that when that very question was put to Parliament, he voted against the very concept that he's promoting today. Look, when these events occur, members of Parliament switch parties. A lot of emotions get unleashed. A lot of things get dug up. But people evolve, Karina. People look at the priorities, the urgent priorities of the day, and conclude that their energy, their time, their optimism, their hope for the country is best invested in positive solutions, not in obstruction, not in holding back progress in the country, but rather in participating in building this great project called Canada.
Now, my colleague Kate McKenna is reporting that the Liberals are speaking to 9 additional MPs who might be interested in also joining your party. Can we expect to see any of that happen before Monday's by-elections?
Oh, I don't know about any of those. What I can say is that there are a number of members of Parliament from the other side of the House of Commons who are certainly not happy with the state of affairs in which they find themselves, with whether it is their leadership or the priorities they are pursuing. But I know nothing about anyone who may be deciding on an alternate course.
And in terms of this broadening of the Liberal tent, shall we say, you have Laura Idlout from the NDP that's crossed over. You have a red Tory like Chris D'Entremont. You now have a socially conservative MP like Marilyn Gladu. Are there risks to having such a big tent when it comes to trying to maintain party unity and identity and those values you've spoken of?
Look, the world, the country, external events, major pressures, what the Prime Minister has caused a rupture, is serving to focus people's minds on what is important. Certainly, Mark Carney has shown that he has a very clear vision of what Canada's strategy needs to be in that world. We need to diversify our trade. We need to invest in major projects, as we did today here in Montreal. We need to continue to make this country work better, create more opportunity, and build more quickly and build more. That is a very, very focused strategy, one that, whether you are from the New Democratic Party and closer to their trade union or blue-collar ranks, and that building theme appeals to you, or whether you are a Canadian nationalist, as I know Marilyn Gladu and others are, you see a lot that resonates with you in that vision. And these are the urgent things we must tackle together as a country. And that is what Mr. Carney has put forward, and that is the vision that a number of members of Parliament from all across the political spectrum are finding very, very appealing right now. This is an important moment in our history, Karina, and a lot of people find it very important to participate in that project.
Well, thank you very much for your time today. That's Government House Leader Steven MacKinnon.